DIY Downstairs Makeover Touch-Up Edition. I have watched my share of DIY videos. I've even seen a few where the DIYer wasn't satisfied with the outcome and decided to pivot. I've actually watched one young sister redo her kitchen 3 separate times. But I have yet to see a video where someone goes back and shows their DIY fails or repairs. Now, just because I haven't seen it, that doesn't mean it doesn't happen, and it certainly does not mean that the videos don't exist. We gotta get out of thinking that if we didn't see it, it didn't happen. You didn't see that sperm fertilize that egg, but you sure pushed that kid out. And a whole lot of folks done shown up with kids that I never see them pregnant with. Heck, the closest I've ever come to announcing a pregnancy was having a baby shower. But I digress. So I told y'all that I've been fighting with this tape ever since I put it on this wall. It looks great from a distance, really good on video. But up close and personal, it's lifting. Apparently this tape is real good at sticking to itself, sticking to skin, sticking to things you don't want it to stick to, but not sticking to the dang nabbing wall. I get it. I've done some research. I know why. Got it. So I did some more research and found out that this Gorilla Glue spray-on adhesive right here will stick anything. This is my second can of it. I got a small 4-ounce can and I tried it on a piece of this tape and it's been holding up. So I went ahead and ordered the big boy can. And now you're going to watch as I very angrily complete this repair. I had good reason to be angry though. Initially, I did this with the tape by itself. When it started peeling, I tried hot glue. Then double-sided tape, roll-on adhesive. And at my wit's end, regular tape. And none of it kept the tape on the wall. I was highly invested in the outcome of this project. So the whole idea that I needed to go back and touch it again had me feeling like a failure. Unfortunately, when I decided to tackle it on this day, I had yet to deal with those emotions. I had to spray for days and felt like I couldn't prolong it any longer. I probably should have, though. Unfortunately, I was wrong because I had to enlist some help, and that added fuel to an already raging fire. I was livid. This tape has been on these walls for months, and it won't stick. And then we go to lift it, and it immediately sticks to itself and won't come apart. Oh, I was hot. I felt like the tape was personally insulting me. And I got patience for a lot of things. But God is still working on my patience for disrespect and anyone or anything playing in my damn face. That's why I get away from people who play with me. Because he is not done with me yet. And I got my little temper tantrum on video. Keep watching. It's coming up. And wait until you see the look on my sunshine's face. I don't know if he was disappointed, shocked, concerned, or what. Adult tantrum in 5, 4, 3. My poor baby was flabbergasted. Let's see that on the replay. Look at my noonie in the background. She was equally concerned. It's funny, but it's not. This is why emotional regulation is so important. It's not just about hiding how you feel or suppressing it. It's about properly managing it and keeping all things in perspective. My children are legitimately concerned. But you know what that means? It means that up until this point, I've been a good demonstration of grace under pressure. But in this moment, not so much. I was certainly not being a good demonstration of not allowing your circumstances, the circumstances of the moment, to knock you off your square, get you out of pocket, and have you lashing out in frustration at people, at tape on the wall, because frustration is a normal, regular part of life. The frustration itself isn't the issue. The Bible says, be angry, but sin not. Now, I don't know if this wall is going to hold the sin against me, but I do know that I failed to show up well in a moment of adversity. There was absolutely nothing wrong with me deciding, you know what? I don't want to work this hard. I don't want to fight with this tape. I'll just take it off the wall, go in the garage, get the bag of tape that I have left, and just redo this entire strip. But because I wasn't properly managing my emotions, I couldn't think logically. Yes, I went in the garage and I got the bag of tape and I brought it back and I retaped that strip of wall. But the problem could have certainly been solved without the outburst. Because the outburst was unnecessary. The outburst didn't even happen because the tape got all stuck to itself and we couldn't get it apart. It happened because when I started this repair, I was already upset about the fact that I needed to repair it. I'd worked really hard on this makeover. I was happy and proud of the work that I did on this wall, and I was disappointed and embarrassed by having to touch it up. I had internalized it as a personal failure, and it was all because of negative self-talk. Whereas on any other given Sunday, I would have absolutely respected my own determination to keep trying and not give up. But because I didn't sit with the negative emotions and challenge the negative thoughts that were fueling those emotions caused my outburst. And they were a direct result of the story that I had told me about me. Nobody else had to say anything negative about the tape on the wall. Because as usual, I was being my own worst critic. And I didn't need any help forming a negative opinion about the job that I'd done, because I had that in the bag. And to make matters worse, nobody else had to tell me that my outburst was inappropriate and unnecessary, because I was beating myself up for that too. It wasn't until the strip was finished that I recognized that I was doing it again and course corrected. When I stepped out of me, I was able to see that the same negative self-talk that led to the moment of frustration that resulted in me tearing the tape, the contact paper, and the paint off the wall was on a boomerang loop in my psyche after the tantrum. And this, my friends, is think, speak, do, be, have in the flesh. It is vital to our well-being to challenge our own thoughts because our thoughts inform our emotions. And those emotions should always be weighed against the facts because our thoughts and their resulting emotions are only as valuable as they are true and useful. And good, bad, right, or wrong, those emotions are the fuel that ignite the flames that set the clay of the reality we live in. Who we are and what we have is finished in that fire. And if the lesson clicked for you, thank your brain for being such a powerful machine. Because as much as I hated having to revisit that lesson, in the presence of my children, I love what we all learned so much more. And that's why I'm not too proud to leave it in this video. When a lesson is needed, life will present you with opportunities to learn it over and over again. And when you get it, life will test whether you really learned it. And if you pass the test 50 times, you'll fail it on that 51st one. Don't focus on the failure, though. Focus on how you fail and how quickly you recover. I snatched that tape off that wall, saw the look on my children's faces, felt the shame, and immediately course corrected. I wasn't fuming, fussing, and cussing. After that moment was over, I was quiet and reflective. I took the time and the space that I needed to look at myself from the outside and check myself from the inside. And then I shared what I learned with my children. And now I'm sharing it with you all. The best teachers are good students. Lastly, anger, frustration. They are secondary emotions intended to keep you from identifying the primary emotions. Anger and frustration's job is to keep you stuck in an emotional limbo where you allow your anger to cause you to sin against God, against yourself, against others, against walls, without ever questioning or challenging your thoughts. It's only when you challenge the thoughts that you can clearly see the true emotions. That said, I am still proud of the work that I did. I'm even more proud of this repair job. And if you notice that I got some adhesive in places where I didn't want it because it was difficult to control the spray nozzle of this can, no worries. I've learned how to get that off too. Look at us, learning and growing together.